representative, right? So for this, the Constitution also guarantees universal adult suffrage. Let me put this down for you. It's a very important term. Universal adult suffrage, so that we can go ahead and directly elect our representatives. Now, what exactly does the term universal adult suffrage mean? Who are 18 years or above 18 years of age, they get direct
Dude, I think with it. You own one. Gone by.
keep the country
What you
ready.
need tonight, honey?
Everyone can vote for their
What?
president.
The city of Compton.
Hey, you, Papa.
The
Get back here.
power.
Actually, we like the makers of our constitution really visionary, right? They saw what ahead of us, right? So this is the second feature. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the third feature of the Indian Constitution, which is separation of powers. Our Indian government has three bodies, and the power is divided
Orlando.
You get out much?
Boom!
Shit, I'm
sucking a
They
rope.
are the legislature,
I know I'm looking.
Idiotas, move!
now, let's start with the legislature. As the people in different colors, easy for you.
Come on, Binga, move!
Right? Let's talk about the legislature. The legislature refers to the elected representatives of the country who are responsible for making the laws for the country. So India, in India, the legislature consists of the Rajya Sabha and the, I can hear you almost saying it,
Cluck,
Rajya
cluck.
Sabha and
How
the
can I
Lok
serve you?
Sabha. And these are the bodies that make the law. Next, we have the executive.
The chewy bits aren't harmful, sir.
Without picking a different color. This is responsible for implementing the law and running the country or running the government. It's something over here. Implementing laws. So you have the legislature that is making the law, and you have the executive that is implementing the laws. Now the executive branch consists of who? Consists of the president and who is the vice president. I'm just putting DP over here, and we're talking about the council of ministers, led by who? Led by our PM or Prime Minister. Right? So this is the executive. Then we have the last body, which is the judiciary. And this we are referring to basically as the court system of our country.
Just do
Right? So in India, we know that we have the Supreme Court as the apex court. Supreme Court.
¿Qué pues?
¿Qué traes?
Ever been to the pita ese?
Total cachondeo.
Later, ese.
Trucha.
Man, I had to kick his ass.
You looking like a grown kid.
Not enough morning men around this part of town.
Prevent misuse of power like the legislative of the government. What does it mean? When we introduce and check on the when we speak about it, we'll ensure the
Yes, of
balance
course, I know.
power between all three organs so that no one organ
How do you do, madam?
Divorce made me very depressed.
Let us understand the fourth feature of the Indian Constitution, which is
LSPD, get out of the way!
What fundamental rights? Fundamental
Near Jerry
power by the state. We also want to ensure that the citizens of India, especially the minorities, are protected against the misuse of power by the government bodies, right? So it's basically a form of protection of power, right? These fundamental rights are. Next fundamental right is which are number one is the right to equality. Right to
Hey, watch it!
right to exploitation, number four, right to freedom of religion, number five, cultural and educational rights, and number six, we have right to constitutional remedies. So you may get a question to ask you, list down the different fundamental rights or tell us what the fundamental rights are according to the Constitution. These are the six fundamental rights, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and let's do these in detail so you know if you get a question on any one of them, right? Let's take a look at our first fundamental right, which is the right to equality. Now, the Constitution of India under Article 14 has guaranteed or granted the right to equality for citizens. This means that all citizens are equal before the law and there can be no discrimination on the basis of factors like religion, race, caste, gender, place of work, etc. Now, an important point to take note of over here is that the right to equality is not only the right of Indian citizens but also the right of non-citizens. Actually, let me ask you something. Tell me, do you think that there are any exceptions to this law? To the right to equality, are there any exceptions or conditions? Well, yes, there are certain exceptions to this law. Under Article 60, there are exceptions to the right of equality of opportunity in terms of matters of public employment. So, why are these exceptions? These exceptions are provided to protect the interest of the speaker, protect the interest, as I think protection and not private, protect the interest of the weaker and the more vulnerable sections of society, such as women, children, backward classes, minorities, so actually therefore protect them. Right? So now let us see. The Constitution also gives the Parliament the right to pass a law to the effect that a certain post is filled only by people residing in a certain area. And they are the ones who will have the knowledge of the locality, they will know the local language, right? So they are the ones who can sort of cover that, right? Then, the article also mentions that there can be a law that states that only a person professing a particular religion or belonging to a particular denomination can manage the affairs of that particular religious or denominational institution. So as you see, there are certain exceptions to this particular right? Okay, let us move on to our next fundamental right, which is the right to freedom. Now, this is one of the most important ideals, basically, if you think about it. This is one of the most important ideals cherished by any democratic society. Freedom. The Indian Constitution guarantees freedom to all its citizens, and the right to freedom includes many rights such as freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of assembly without arms, freedom of association, freedom to reside anywhere in any part of the country, and freedom to practice any profession. And these are so basic in terms of freedom, right? Now, we need to keep in mind that these rights are very important. They are meant for us, but some of these rights are subject to certain conditions of state security, public morality, and even friendly relations with other foreign countries. What this means is that the government has the right to impose reasonable restrictions on them if these conditions are not met. So we're basically saying that there are certain conditions to the right to freedom. Right? Next. The next right is the right against exploitation. Now this is put into Articles 23 and 24 of the Indian Constitution. What does this fundamental right talk about or say? Well, these fundamental rights guarantee every citizen protection from any kind of forced labor. So what more do you think would come under forced labor? Well, it's very obvious, right? What things like human trafficking, which is done against somebody's will, begging, child laboring, right? All this comes under forced labor. Any violation of this provision is an offense punishable in accordance with the code of law, which means that it can be taken to court if this is the case. But there is a catch to this right also. The Constitution does not prevent the state from imposing compulsory service for public service. What does this mean? This what we spoke about was forced labor, right? But think about it, the government can anytime it wants, it can ask its citizens to, for example, join the army in protecting the country, right? This is again very important always conditions. So, but of course, while imposing such service, the state cannot make discrimination on the basis of religion, race, caste, or class. So there are exceptions and there are conditions. So each of these rights that we have, right? Yes. The next fundamental right is the right of freedom of religion. Now, our Constitution, under Articles 25 to 28, gives everyone freedom to practice, propagate, and profess their religion. And this ensures that equal respect is given to all religions. And this is so very important, right? Moreover, if you think about it, this right even is the secular nature of Indian polity. This means that the state has no official
I'd make you pay for that if it was my car.
right? Now, we will be studying a little
My
bit
car!
more about secularism in a little bit.
I gotta make a
We
getaway.
will come to that a little bit later. Now, let's
Expect me to sell this?
understand. Actually, before we do it, let me ask you this question. Are you ready for the question? Well, the question that we have to know is freedom of religion also subjected to certain conditions? Yes, just like other fundamental rights, the above is the most public order, health, and morality. So there are all these certain conditions. Right? Let's move on to our next fundamental right, which is cultural and educational rights. Now, Constitution under Article 29 and 29 to 30 safeguards the rights
You
of
hardhead boy.
linguistic and religious minorities. I can put this down for you over here. Linguistic and religious minorities. And this again is a very important right. What does the Constitution say about this right? It says that the citizens residing in India have the right to preserve their own distinct culture, their own language, as well as their own history. And as per this right, the state cannot deny admission any person, irrespective of their race, religion, caste, and language, into any educational institutes run by it. That's great. And not just that. They also give the minorities the right to form and govern their own education system. That's cool. Alright. Now we will move on to the last fundamental right, which is the right to constitutional remedy. What does this right mean? This means that the government cannot infringe upon or curb anyone's rights. The Constitution under Article 32 to 35 states that citizens can approach the court
I sure am
if
craving some Mr.
their
Whoopi.
fundamental rights are violated. The Constitution
Yeah, I'm down.
allows citizens to go directly to the Supreme Court, which can issue writs for enforcing fundamental rights. But what is a writ? Well, let me tell you, you may get a question like this. A writ is a written order issued by the Supreme Court of India to provide constitutional remedy from
Now you better.
they can go to court if they feel their rights have been violated. This is such an important measure, right? Now, in addition to fundamental rights, the Constitution also has a section called, we put this down for you, Directive Principles of State Policy.
Classic rock the way it was meant to be enjoyed. On dust.
You're good, but let's be honest, we're not perfect. And that's not enough. We strive to be number one in everything. Sports, politics, economics, homelessness, degeneracy. Los Santos is the home of beauty and glamour for the whole world. Live up to society's expectations, play your part. Your body is a work of art. Don't leave it half finished. It's time for your creative plastic surgery. We'll make your face as tight as a drum. We'll suck fat out of your body with an industrial pump. Increase your confidence with fake breasts. Sure, people know what you're all about. More adventurous. Why not try an extra nose or 3 breasts? You know how much men like breasts. Can you imagine how wild they'll go for udders?
My wife was complaining that she.
Without putting in a different color, this is responsible for
Get that fool in our loop. I got your back. I'm jumping in this move.
Great Britain has produced a lot of great musicians, but I doubt anyone with more gravitas, more importance, more significance than me. Apart from this man, the one, the only, Rod Stewart. This is Young Turks.
Supreme Court as the apex court. Supreme Court. protected against the misuse of power by the government bodies, right? So it's basically a form of
I got a gun.
well, there are actually six fundamental rights given by Constitution, which are now again in yellow. Number 1, right to freedom. Number 3, right against exploitation. Number 4, right to freedom of religion.
You wanna get shut
Number
up?
5, cultural and educational rights.
Ah, you so
Any
kind.
question to ask you, list down the different fundamental rights or tell us what the fundamental rights are. These are the 6 fundamental rights. Right?
It's serious. Ugly to push me.
So, if you get a question on any one of these, right? Let's take a look at our
That's
first
cool.
fundamental right.
Now.
Now, the Constitution of India under Article 14 has guaranteed or granted the right to equality to all
Not this
citizens.
fool, G.
What does this mean? This means that all citizens are equal before
Whoa,
the
check
law
out the
and there
babe.
is no discrimination on basis of factors like religion, race, caste, gender, place of birth, etc. An important point
You won't be needing this now.
over here is that the right to equality is not only the right of citizens, but actually, let me ask you something. Tell me, do you think that there are to the right to equality are many exceptions or conditions? Well, yes, there are certain exceptions. Under Article 3, there are exceptions to the right of equality of opportunity in
At
terms
least
of
I'm not hurt.
matters of public employment. So, why are these exceptions there? These exceptions are provided to protect the interests of the weaker, protect
Oh,
the more vulnerable sections of society, such as women, children, backward classes, minorities. So it's actually there to protect them. Right? It's for our benefit. The Constitution also gives the Parliament the right to pass a law to the effect that a certain post is filled only by people residing in a certain area, as they are the ones who will have the knowledge of the locality, they will know the local language, right? So they are the ones who can sort of govern that, right? Then, this article also mentions that belonging to a particular denomination can manage the affairs of that particular religious or denomination institution. So as you see, there are certain exceptions to this particular right? Okay, let us move on to our next fundamental right, which is the right to freedom. Now, this is one of the most important ideals, basically, if you think about it. This is one of the most important ideas cherished by any democratic society. Many rights, freedom of assembly without arms, freedom of association, freedom to reside anywhere in any part of the country, right? Now, we need to keep in mind that these rights are very good and they are meant for all, but some of these rights are subject to certain
You don't need this no more.
state security, public morality, and even friendly relations with foreign countries.
Make it easy on yourself.
Has the right to impose reasonable restrictions on them.
You gonna back down, soul?
things like human trafficking is done against somebody's will, or begging, or child labor, etc. Right? All of this is under forced labor. Any violation of this provision is
Take
an
this fool down.
offense punishable in accordance with the court of law, which means that you can be taken to court if this is the case. But there is a catch to this right. So, the Constitution does not prevent the state from imposing compulsory services.
You want to get blasted? Stop playing the
public.
popo watching.
This what we spoke about was forced labor, right? But if you think about it, the government can anytime it wants, it can ask its citizens to, for example, join the army for the sake of protecting the country, right? So this is again very important and always conditions. So, but of course, while imposing such service, the state cannot make discrimination or class. So if you see there are exceptions and there are that we have. Right? Then, the next fundamental right is the right of freedom of Articles 25 to 28 gives everyone the freedom to practice, propagate, and protect their religion. And this ensures that equal respect is given to all religions, and this is so very important, right? Moreover, if you think about it, this right indicates the secular nature of the state policy. This means that the state will be studying a little bit more about secularism. Okay, so we will come to that a little bit later. Now, let's move ahead, okay, and let's understand. Or actually, before we move ahead, let me ask you this question. Are you ready for a question? Well, the question that I have for you is freedom of religion also subjected to certain conditions?
Tomorrow, I will dream in green, yellow oceans and froth on the beach. It's me. I'm an individual. What is love? It's me.
We the ballers, man. Yes, a gun.
Now, the Constitution, under Articles 29 and 29 to 30, safeguards the rights of linguistic and religious. I'm going to put this down for you. Linguistic and religious.
It's me. You're beautiful. That's enough. Shine. Buy helmet shine. Radio X, this is modern rock for San Andreas. Keep it on the only letter that you can spell.
You go home in a pile.
And not just that.
Bring it on, dickweed.
You
gonna stay cool now. I'm gonna remove your ugly face, fool. I need this more than you, I think.
So this means that the government
Oh, you're too kind.
cannot
Yeah, it's what you gonna do now?
the Constitution 30 to 35 that citizens their fundamental rights are violated. The Constitution even allows citizens to go directly to the Supreme Court, which can issue writs for enforcing fundamental rights. But what is a writ? Well, let me tell you, a writ is issued by the provide
What you expect? It's America.
protect the fundamental violation. So basically, they can go to court if they feel their rights have been violated. And this is such an important measure if you think about it, right? Now, in addition to fundamental rights, the Constitution also has a section called, let me put this down for you, Directive Principles principles state policy. What is this? This section was designed members of the Constituent Assembly to ensure
You lost the will to live yet?
economic reforms and to serve as a free, independent Indian state to institute laws that help reduce the poverty of the masses. Right? So this is done for our own. Right? Now, let us go ahead and understand the fifth feature of the Indian Constitution, which is secularism. Right? So, let me ask you, why do we call India a secular state? So, let me tell you this. In India, there is separation of religion from the state, and no religion is promoted as the state religion or an official religion. There is no such thing. This entails the separation of religion from the government and social, economic, and cultural aspects of life. So, religion is separate. Why? What is the need for this separation? Because religion is treated as an entirely personal
Can't beat me,
matter,
Mort.
right?
It's the best you got.
Okay, now we've done quite a lot, so I think that it is a good idea to have a quick recap of what we studied today. We talked about the features of the Constitution. What were the features? Well, there were 5 features. Session with the first subtopic, which is people and their representatives. So for that, let's start by understanding what is meant by the term democracy. We will further understand how people elect their representatives. Now, I'm sure that you know that India is the largest democratic country in the world. Now, you know the population of India is, let me tell you, it's very India has a population of more than 130